Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 76 of OG Verbal 2nd edition by using e-GMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence, and finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. Under a provision of the Constitution that was never applied, Congress has been required to call a convention for considering possible amendments to the document when formally asked to do it by the legislatures of 2/3 of the states. Now, the way this sentence has been written, the meaning is not very clear. So let us first infer the intended meaning of the sentence. The sentence wants to say that there is a provision of the Constitution that has not been applied till date. Per this provision, Congress is needed to call a convention to look into possible amendments to the document when the legislatures of 2/3 of the states formally ask the Congress to do so. Now let us evaluate the errors by splitting this sentence into its clauses. Since this sentence has only one subject-verb pair, we have only one clause here. Congress is the subject and has been required is the verb. Now the verb sequencing is not appropriate here. The sentence intends to state the requirements of a provision that has not been applied to date. That is, it was not applied in the past and it is still not applied in the present. Use of was applied only indicates that the provision was not applied in the past. It does not indicate anything about the current state of the provision. For all we know, the provision may be applied now. Thus, has not been applied is correct verb tense. Likewise, has been required is not correct tense to simply state a requirement of the provision. It should be stated using simple present tense since it's a characteristic of the provision. So, this verb tense should be is required to call. So, we have two verb tense errors here. Also, the purpose of calling the convention is to consider possible amendments. Hence, to verb must be used. For considering must be turned to consider for precision. So we have idiom error in this sentence. Also, pronoun it has been used to refer to call a convention, an action. Now this is not correct. Pronouns can only be used to refer to nouns. Do so should be used instead. So we have pronoun error here as well. Now let us run the POE to find out what's the correct answer. Well, choice A is certainly not correct as we discussed just now. Choice B is also not correct because firstly, it repeats the same verb tense errors and the pronoun error as in choice A. Also, for consideration is not correct because it wants to show the purpose of the action. It must be written as to consider. Also, this choice is way too wordy with an unnecessary that clause. So, these errors make choice B incorrect. Let's take a look at choice C now. Well, choice C is not correct firstly because same verb tense error, pronoun error and idiom error have been repeated as in choice A. And also, there is no independent clause here as there is no verb in this entire choice. This choice is actually a fragment. Let's take an example to understand this. When we say the new night school whereby a lot of underprivileged children come to study, it is incorrect because this sentence does not provide a complete thought, whereby actually does the function of in which, and hence if we just write whereby a lot of underprivileged children come to study, we are still expecting something else to happen. And notice that there is no main verb for this subject, the new night school. So this sentence is not correct. What we should say is the new night school whereby a lot of underprivileged children come to study has attracted many professionals who voluntarily teach them. So here this sentence presents a complete idea, and subject, the new night school, also has a verb, has attracted. But choice C is a fragment because it does not have the main verb. So these two errors make choice C incorrect. Let's take a look at choice D now. Well, choice D repeats the same fragment error as in choice C and hence is incorrect. So we are left only with choice E now, and choice E is the correct answer because both the verb tenses have been taken care of. We now have the correct idiom expression to consider, and pronoun it has been replaced with to do so. So choice E is the correct answer for this sentence. This brings us to the takeaway messages. Proper verb tense must be used to state the correct timeline of the events in the sentence. Also, general facts must be written in simple present or past tense depending upon the context of the sentence. Two verb forms must be used to state purpose of an action. Also, pronouns can only refer to nouns and other pronouns. The concepts tested in this sentence have been covered in e-GMAT concepts, level 1 pronouns and level 1 verb tenses.